What's good, people? Welcome to another episode of She's Got Game. Today I'm joined by Beth Powney. I wanted to ask, first off, tell me about your football journey.
Wow, that's a big question. How long have we got here?
You've got as long as you want.
Well, obviously, I'll start off from where the sort of football journey began, kind of thing. Primary school, I'm pretty sure it's very similar to what a lot of other young footballers start out of. It's primary school, and obviously being a girl, I've hit a first barrier there at primary school because whether I wasn't rated by the lads, but I just wasn't allowed to play football. I used to try and get myself on, but then I sort of got pushed into goal, and it actually turned out that I was pretty decent at it. Very fearless, I think, from a young age, which helped. I definitely wasn't afraid of the ball. Wasn't afraid to challenge people. So that started at primary school, as much as I struggled to try and get myself on the pitch with them. And then I saw an advertisement for a local team at the primary school, a local girls team. So I didn't actually go into a mixed team. I luckily went into an all-girls team. Whether or not that would have had an impact on my development, so much as tactical, technical development, I don't know. But definitely from a social aspect, it was nice to go into an all-girls team and sort of not have that awkwardness of being around boys, which at that age I think it is tough if you're not rated much by the lads.
Yeah.
I was a certified baller then, so
You was coming up, you was learning the ropes.
they didn't recognise the talent, so but no, I like that though, because it, as I got older, I sort of proved people wrong. I don't think I look like the stereotypical footballer, unfortunately, due to apart from popular belief, we're not all raging lesbians and got tattoos everywhere. And I mean, I've got a few tattoos, but because I don't look like a stereotypical footballer, that was another barrier that I've come across. But it was nice because people see you, and then when you're sort of the underdog, because then they're like, wow, she can play football. So that was I like to take positives out of negatives. I know I could be angry that people don't see me that way, but I'm not. I like to sort of prove people wrong. So after primary school, I sort of fell off football a little bit. I mean, it was always there in the background, but I didn't take it that seriously. I mean, coming up as a young girl, I didn't have many role models to watch on telly. It wasn't sort of a career.
Yeah, definitely.
That I could, sit and watch the football, the women's football, and actually think I could make a career out of it. So, it was in the background, and I was going through a lot of challenges growing up as well. And I sort of started going down a wrong path. But football did help me massively. I used to swim and I used to dance when I was younger as well. But at about age 12, I think I stopped swimming, definitely. I'm not sure when I stopped dancing, but and then I sort of concentrated on football, which I'm so glad I did. Swimming wasn't for me. I come from a very lower class background, and unfortunately, a lot of the people that I swam with were from an upper class. You sort of, I felt a bit odd one out there kind of thing. And it's very expensive as well. And for a single mum to sort of pay for that was tough. But anyway, so I chose football. And then obviously, like I said, it was sort of in the background. But it kept me, I think looking back, football kept me on the right path. It sort of gave me a purpose, and to sort of not waste my weekends away. And then I think I got into play for county maybe when I was about 14, maybe a bit younger. And that was good. I moved from a local team to a team that was further away called TNS, and was with them for quite a few years. And that was good because it was a massive step up. I got to experience like Welsh football.
Okay.
And then I made a move from TNS when I was just starting out at sixth form to Wolves. That was really good. I really liked Wolves. I enjoyed my time there. And then unfortunately I had to leave Wolves to come to uni, which was a bit of a blow because it was kind of like, oh, right, I'm sort of at a standard now where they've just got promoted into the league that I'm in now, actually. But for me at that age, especially training with the first team, I played a few games for the first team as well. It was a big step up for me and in my development. Probably the first time as well that I had a decent goalkeeper coach, someone that was actually assigned to us, not sort of a coach that would kick the ball at you on to warm up on a Saturday, just kind of a 5-minute thing. Yeah. We actually got taken away and he was there permanently. And then obviously left Wolves, came to Manchester to study a football coaching and management degree. And I sort of, it was tough because obviously Manchester's quite far away from where I'm from. And I didn't have any links up here.
Okay.
And it was tough. And I was like, I really want to get up to a better standard than I was at Wolves.
Yeah.
So I played like local grassroots just to kind of like, meet people, carry on playing, keep my fitness up and things like that. But just obviously it wasn't the standard that I wanted to be at. And I remember saying at the start of our uni season, one of the coaches there, he's one of my good mates, he was like, where do you want to see yourself in terms of football career next year? And I said, I'd like to be higher than what I was at Wolves. And I guess I spoke that into existence and it happened. I filed at the start of my second year, just before my 19th birthday, I think. And, I've been there ever since. It's a good standard. Obviously with COVID and stuff, it's been quite tough because I sort of joined after Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I only had a few months and then COVID came along. So it's been a bit, I've not actually played a proper season fully with them yet, but it's good. And then that's sort of where I'm at, really. That's in terms of where I've been pretty much. Yeah.
Because you used to do swimming and dancing, do you think any of that helped you as a goalkeeper today? Was there any transferable skills from that?
Well, not that I was actually aware of, but since studying a degree, I've learned that there's a thing called early specialisation and late specialisation.
Okay.
And so early specialisation's obviously when you pick one sport and you do it so sort of like a Serena Williams type of thing. So like she's obviously playing tennis from, fresh out the womb up until now. Yeah. And then there's late specialisation where you do different sports and then you pick to specialise in one sport later on.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that, swimming, heavily like cardio, I was very fit when I was swimming.
Yeah.
Dancing, I mean, I wouldn't say it's transferable in a club. I mean, I'd like to think that when I was growing up, I'll be like, yeah, this one's for the nightclubs, and I'll like get into a club and I'm like, okay, I'm not missing out any of these moves. So in terms of football, I don't know, I think maybe, like coordination and sort of picking up certain, practicing moves and getting into that. what's the word? I don't know. Sort of getting into just practicing and, learning, because obviously you used to learn choreograph, but then now you've got to learn like certain things for goalkeeping, kind of like how you move across the goal, angles of a goal. I mean, I guess, yeah, but I think it very much came naturally to me, goalkeeping though. I was very fearless. I picked it up. Every little bit of information that I sort of come across stuck with me. And I sort of taught myself.
Yeah.
Mm.
Would you say that because you like learning the information, that's what's kind of helped you on your coaching journey so far?
I think my coaching journey has definitely been helped from the level that I've played at, and also a degree that I've done.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the job because of the level that I play at, so they sort of went hand in hand. Yeah.
What do you think
What are you
about
laughing at, James?
No, I was just like, yeah, it's just happening. But I wanted to ask, what do you think about how women's football is now? Because now it's not in the greatest of states in the way of how it's shown, but you can go onto FA Play and watch games now. So do you think that if you was growing up now, you'd be able to kind of have a lot more role models?
Yeah, I think the accessibility to women's football, I mean, it helps with the rise of social media. Young girls can follow the players that they look up to. And definitely, obviously, like you said, with the player, the where you can watch the games and stuff, that definitely helps. So I think it's become a lot more accessible than it was when I was younger. I think I'd have to wait until like a major tournament when I was younger to watch the women's game or attend in person, but I never lived close enough to go see them live in the flesh.
Yeah.
So, and then if you're lucky, you get the odd England women's game on telly, but that wasn't when I was growing up, when I was young and impressionable. That was more when I've started hitting teenage years, really.
Yeah, I get what you mean. As a footballer, do you see yourself having to be a brand, or do you just kind of focus on the football and whatever happens?
I try not to think too deeply about it. I know that obviously branding yourself is important, and I have my business Instagram, but I started that for my coaching, really. I try not to force it too much. Maybe I'm naive to think that I don't need to brand myself. Unfortunately, I've not got access to those types of people that can give me that advice. Like a social media manager or something like that. I've got absolutely no clue. And I think it does help. I think it helps to reach, maybe international audiences.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I've definitely had a lot more opportunities in terms of playing from social media and putting things out there. So I think it definitely does help, but I wouldn't force it too much. I definitely wouldn't want to go down that route of it becoming sort of focus less on the football and focus more on becoming an influencer type, kind of thing. I'm not begging for brand deals. I don't want them. I
Won't
meet
see you on Love Island anytime
soon. Definitely not on a Love Island. I've not even watched it this year.
It's not been good. It's not been good. You're not missing out.
Yeah, you know what? I just was like, I can't be doing with the superficialness and it just represents everything that's wrong with our generation, I think, and kids shouldn't be watching that sort of stuff. I think there's better TV programs that they should probably be watching than seeing this superficial thing. That's Love Island.
What was it like, especially as an athlete and a student during COVID? How do you kind of stay motivated? How do you stay focused?
I can't lie, it was very, very hard. I'm very much a person that I need someone with me to motivate me. kind of thing. And I like being in a football environment and sort of just being told what to do and not having to think too much about it. I did go out, you know, when I can, did some obviously workouts from home, which I think a lot of people did. But it's just not the same. It's not the same as you play football because you love being in a team. And when you sort of, you know, obviously goalkeeping positions quite individual, but football as a whole is a team sport. So it's good to be with other people that are motivating you and things like that. And unfortunately, I don't come from a family that is very sporty. I mean, my mum smokes like 50 cigarettes a day. My dad's like, you know, yeah. So, yeah. And then obviously being a student as well, luckily I've sort of been through a phase when I was younger of going out and drinking, probably a bit too young than I should have, but it's actually helped me when I've got to uni because it's not been something that I've sort of, you know, I've not left home and been like, right, I've got freedom. I always sort of had freedom at home, which I think is a credit to my mum. She definitely allowed me. So, you know, being a student, it was hard to juggle playing, you know, like going out and training because where I live in Manchester, Fylde's quite a travel away. So your evenings are very heavily like, you know, that's your whole evening training is. So to get assignments done and stuff, you've got to manage your time very well. But COVID helped massively in terms of uni. Because football was stopped. So I had more time to sit on my laptop and things like that. But then obviously you can't spend all day sat on your laptop. You need to go out and do something or get up and carry on moving. But it was a struggle. It was a massive struggle.
Do you think what would you tell yourself now that you would say to maybe 11-year-old Beth?
I'd probably say, you know, it does get easier. I would not have thought from when I was 11 years old of where I would be now, which is a good thing. I have to remind myself now, you know, I want to look back when I'm 25 or whatever and think I've come a long way from when I was 21 and the struggles that I'm having to go through now. So I would say I probably wouldn't say do anything different, you know. I'd say because I wouldn't be where I am if I did do something different. Do you know what I mean? But I would say, you know, it does get easier and keep training hard. Possibly, you know, look for more. If I was to change anything, I'd probably say try and get more one-to-one training with a goalkeeper coach. And sort of go out and go have trials places because you are someone that would be wanted. But it's hard. It is hard, but because obviously I can't say I'd change anything because I wouldn't be where I am.
100%. What's your what music gets you going before a game?
Drake, definitely.
There's a Drake for everything. There's a Drake song for every
literally
single thing.
any mood. There's a Drake. You know, oh god, I absolutely love Drake. But I like. It depends. I'm not really much of like a dance music. I want more like music with a bit of vim, like not grime, but like rap music, but a bit more like hardcore kind of thing. Good question, actually. I like things that sort of have got like a motivational sort of ring to it kind of thing, and that talk about certain, you know, like an Eminem sort. I don't know.
You like struggle music.
Struggle music. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, what's it called? I'll listen to like Meek Mill if I'm doing something. Even if I'm playing basketball with my friends, I haven't done it in a while. I'm like, how do I get focused? I'll listen to Meek Mill. He'll talk about how things are going wrong. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You
sort of use it, don't you? And
carry
it with you.
What do you eat before a game?
Do you know, I actually don't eat before football.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's whenever, it depends. Match days are differently. I'll make sure that I eat a good meal the night before, like maybe pasta or something like that, and do make sure that I have, maybe a banana or something before the game. But training wise, I actually eat when I come home. I don't know what it is. Maybe my digestive system. Something's wrong with my digestive system, but I can't eat before training. It's just nah. I can't do it. It just makes me feel sick. I don't feel like I perform as well. So I don't actually eat before training.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
How do you come back from, like, if something goes wrong, like you have a really bad training session or you make a mistake in a game? How do you kind of come back from that?
I used to be really good at that. I used to be very headstrong, and I think it does heavily depend on who you've got around you. This year and a bit, I have struggled massively with coming out of a bit of a rut with football. I've sort of fell out of love with football, unfortunately, which is annoying because I'm 21. This should be the sort of period where I start really loving football, and so I know everyone has down periods in their career, and I think unfortunately that's what I'm going through. But if I, have a bad training session, you have to look forward. I don't dwell on things too much. I don't think, I could have done this better. I like to think, what have I done good? Okay, it might be in a rubbish training session, but what good did I make? A good save? Did I communicate well? I just think of the positives. I don't like to dwell too much on the thing. And I think that comes part and parcel with being a goalkeeper. You can't dwell on letting a goal in because you never know, an attack might come 2 minutes down and you've got to make a save. Like, you can't be thinking about what's just happened. You can't change it. You can't fix it. So you can only tackle what's ahead of you and not behind you.
What is it like being an athlete and having to watch your diet, or do you just kind of eat what suits you in the moment?
When I was growing up, it was very hard in terms of nutrition. Like I said, I don't come from a sporting family, lower class background. I'm sure you can think for yourselves what sort of food. I mean, obviously coming from a lower class background doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be eating rubbish, but it's sort of,
It's expensive to eat healthy, though.
Exactly. So it's the cheap food. But obviously getting older, I do watch my diet. I watch what I don't like to force it too much. I think it can become very toxic if you think too much about what you're eating, as long as you're eating the good stuff and monitoring how much of the bad stuff you are eating, if that makes sense. I think, you can fall down a very dark hole if you become too focused on exactly what you're eating. I would like to maybe speak to a nutritionalist and things like that, because obviously it's stuff that I've not been accustomed to growing up and things like that. But I know what's good and what's bad. I mean, it doesn't take a genius, but I've never been one to sort of force myself on a diet. I think that's very unhealthy. And I just judge my body. I see, what does my body need? Make sure I'm eating stuff that's going to make me feel good and not stuff that's going to make me feel rubbish. Like during COVID, I don't think I had one Mackey's. So
I had a few. Maybe a dozen, maybe. Who's counting?
But so you kind of think like, oh, how much am I doing in the week? Maybe I can have a pizza tonight because I'm doing so much. I'm burning off a lot of stuff. Or is this a week where I'm sitting doing nothing, where I've then got to watch what I eat because I don't want to start putting on. But I don't, like I said, I'm not going to focus on it too much.
You haven't got the MyFitnessPal app, just like constantly. Like,
I have got a Fitbit.
Our Fitbit's worth it.
Yeah, I'd say so. Actually, I like seeing how much sleep I've got and what my sleep score and how bad my sleep is.
Oh, 1 hour, fair enough.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I feel like I've had like 8 hours sleep, and then it goes, no, you've had 5 hours.
Yeah.
So, well, I deserve a nap today, so I like it when you come back from training. It is good. It's good to see it's like, oh, this is how much I've like actually worked.
Yeah.
It's good to see it in numbers, and it's not that expensive either. It's not. I don't want to get some fancy. I've met a girl before. She had 2 Apple Watches on her wrist playing football to monitor like 2 different things. Which I thought, well, I mean, like whatever floats your boat. I mean, sick, but unfortunately, I don't have that sort of money to get 2 Apple Watches. But obviously, when you know more about like the data and stuff you can get from them, I think that would help. But Fitbits, I'd definitely recommend Fitbit.
Where is the first place you're trying to go on holiday once? I guess once COVID is calmed down, I guess, because apparently COVID is going to be around forever. So it's kind of like,
will it ever calm down?
Once it's calmed down.
I was meant to go to Florida, actually. That was a holiday that was cancelled, and I've never been out of Europe before. Actually, I've been to Tunisia. That's out of Europe, isn't it? That's like
exposing the geography skills, but
mate, mine exactly.
No. I think it might be because I think
it's like Africa.
Yeah. I think Tunisia. Yeah. I think so. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully, it is in Africa. Yeah.
So obviously with Florida, like first time going to America and stuff like that. So that was rubbish. I want to go somewhere hot. I just want to, if I could go anywhere, I'd like to go like Jamaica or Caribbean, somewhere like, or Greece, Santorini. But that seems very like, because obviously it's put everywhere on like Instagram and things like that. I reckon it's probably hyped up too much. It's a place I want to go to, a place that's like undiscovered kind of thing, that's not so much on the map. Like, do you know what I mean? Where there's not going to be like bare influencers there, like running around. Because I can imagine
see like a hotel of phones just like taking pictures of you.
You know, like you go out for a walk and there's like 50 people lined up. Like,
sorry guys, imagine enjoying the place instead of taking pictures.
Just live in the moment. But so like it's just somewhere hot, man, and just to like just chill out. I'd love to just get on a flight somewhere and just sort of shut off.
Yeah.
What about you? Where would you like to go?
Jamaica. Yeah, it's nice being from Jamaica, so that's always the place. Like, I know a lot of people like Dubai, but I'm thinking if I'm going on an expensive holiday, I'm gonna give it home. I'm gonna give it to my people. Because like Jamaica's amazing. Like, people just need to go out there. It's a long flight, 9 hours. I hate flying, so me doing 9 hours, that's love, and that's a lot of alcohol, because I can't just be normal. Like, I have to make sure I'm tipsy on the flight. So I'm just like, everything's just happening. Like, I'm just letting it happen.
Is the turbulence quite bad on the way to Jamaica?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, but someone like me, I hate flying. So the slightest thing, someone could sneeze and I'm like, what just happened? So it was like, but the turbulence was okay. Yeah, get away.
Pulling the thing down.
Yeah. I'm like, can I go to first class? I know I haven't paid for it, but please, can I just go there? But no, the turbulence is okay. It's okay. It's more the landing. Remember, I came back from Mallorca, and the plane was just landed really aggressively. Like, the pilot didn't even say, "We're here now." It was just like, "That's it, everyone get off." I was like, "Okay, that's the maddest landing ever." But yeah, well, Jamaica's. I'd definitely recommend Jamaica.
Yeah, I'd like to go. Is it expensive? Yeah.
Nice bit of saving.
Yeah. Mexico as well. Like, I'd like to go to Mexico.
Yeah. Cancun.
Somewhere, yeah, like somewhere just so completely different from England, and that no one knows who you are, and just sit somewhere. And, obviously, I'm not big time. Like I could go to probably
I can't even go
to probably Leeds, and no one would know who I am. I mean, just like you're not going to bump into anyone.
Yeah, it's nice, especially that's what you get when you're abroad. Unless you go to like somewhere, I don't know. I think Dubai is really like London focused. Marbella is really London and like UK focused. So it's kind of like you're not really escaping. You're kind of just
like a Benidorm as well.
Yeah, so it's like I know you from somewhere. You don't really want that. You kind of just want to
literally, yeah. You go somewhere that's just so far out, and maybe if you do, I've been on holiday before where you've actually seen someone that you kind of know, and you're like, that's so weird that we're here at the same time. But yeah, where it's just like there's just such a smaller chance. So yeah, mate, you just make me think about going on holiday now.
If I was you, I'd check out Ryanair, get some flight.
I ain't going on Ryanair. No way. I'd rather walk.
Take a while to get there, but you get there.
I'll swim and walk.
How are you feeling about the Euros coming up?
The final.
No, the women's one.
The women's one.
Yeah.
Like it'd be good. I think it's just helps really, doesn't it, with continuing women's football, and I think possibly we might get more of an audience this time round, maybe because people, the hype of this Euros, people want more.
Yeah,
people who really love football should love all forms of football.
Yeah.
You're not. I don't think you're a true football fan if you don't love all football.
Drop the mic.
Interview done. See you later, everyone.
You're off to Jamaica now.
Yeah. Hiya, is that not Ryanair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone but Ryanair. But the last question I would say is, what do you think is needed to help develop the women's game further?
A lot of things. I think at the minute, at the top of the women's game, it's very glamorized, but there's still so much that needs to be done. For example, I'm one league below the championship, and it's quite scary for me to, obviously you'd love to go up higher in a league, but when you're seeing people come out, even the United girls are saying that the standard of facilities, Birmingham City as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, is it really worth it? It's glamorized by the media, but it might be too much to actually you've still got to work. Some players are still working even at championship level. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it needs to be looked at. It can't just be so focused on the WSL. They need to start thinking more about how are we going to get that talent from the lower leagues, if that makes sense. Goalkeeper coaching as well. I'm going to stick up for the goalkeepers. I think that needs to... It's hard because obviously women's football stopped for 50 years. We're so much behind. Like, how do you make up for that? We need to stop following in footsteps of the men's game. I appreciate that, bringing in players from abroad. I remember having a talk with Hope Powell once, actually, and she said to us that it's cheaper for managers to bring players from abroad than actually the homegrown players in women's football. So we need to start following in the men's football footsteps of bringing the player. There's so many talented people that are playing in these lower leagues, and they've just not been discovered yet because the fascination is on bringing international players in, and it's like don't fall down that trap. Like I was saying, sorry, about goalkeeper coaching, that definitely needs to to be looked at. There needs to be more goalkeeper coaches in women's football. I mean, I'm a female goalkeeper coach, and I don't know any other female goalkeeper coaches personally. I may follow a few online, but I don't know any that springs to my mind. That says a lot. I live in Manchester. And I remember like growing up, obviously things have changed, but from what I see, not that significantly in terms of goalkeeping. And it reflects in women's football. You get, the trolls that are like, oh, women's goalkeeping are atrocious. It's because we've not had that. It's hard enough for the outfield players to get good enough coaching when they were younger. Then when it comes to goalkeepers, we ain't getting that specific training. Yeah. Unless you're at an academy from early age. Even then. But, I'm getting a bit passionate now.
It's good. You love passion. That's the GK Union, correctly.
But yeah, that needs to definitely be looked at. Because it reflects, and don't blame the players for it. Blame the lack of initiative from the FA and the governing bodies that are not seeing that as something to be nourished.
Yeah. Okay, that has been an amazing interview. Beth, do you want to shout anything out, anything that's close to your heart that you want to tell the people?
I would just like to leave this with I don't know, actually. I just, love each other, respect people. Next time you see someone outside, instead of picking up a phone, someone in trouble, instead of picking up a phone, go over and speak to that person, ask if they need help, start living in the moment. Follow me on Instagram if you want. I'm not a massive, you don't need to. But,
Are you going to tell the people the Instagram so that they can follow it? That would be helpful.
Yes. They can all guess. No, it's just Beth Powney, at Beth Powney. Follow me on Twitter as well if you want to. That's at Beth Powney as well. Leave a nice comment. That's it really. Do you have anything to say, James? I've never really signed myself out before. I wish it was better. I wish it was like subscribe to blah 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 blah. Nice. Follow da 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 da.
Make your channel. You can make a channel and you can do that.
Yeah? Oh no.
A YouTube channel is coming. Guys, Beth's gonna do a YouTube channel. You heard it.
What's up, guys? Yeah. Welcome back to my channel.
But guys, make sure you follow The Zone on Twitter, the.zoneldn. Follow The Zone on Instagram, the.zone_LDN. And we'll see you in another video. Peace.